Good morning, guys, and welcome to the podcast. What if I told you our guest today, he's an AI pioneer and founder of Modern IQs.com, deeply immersed in content creation, inbound marketing, business, and entrepreneurship. And people call him Effie because he's all about efficiency. He talks about marketing, business, AI, future, automation, innovation, efficiency, and finance. So I'm really happy to welcome today's guest, Stefan Fair from the Netherlands, and I'm happy to have this conversation. So, Stefan, welcome.
Hello, hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, briefly introduce yourself, and I'm really excited to talk with you.
Yeah, thanks. As you said, my name is Stefan. I'm the founder of Modern IQs, which is an AI app store. Basically, we are launching pretty much apps daily now. And a lot of stuff is for free and so on. Yeah, we've been focusing on reducing work for entrepreneurs, especially in the content space or small business owners. We have some very time-saving tools, what they can use to fill up their restaurants and so on. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and when we talk about it, talk about just when you have clients come to you, what is your value proposition, and what do clients come to you for? You also speak and blog about the future of work, society, and AI.
Mhm. So, well, our clients usually currently come for pushing their website. So you have to imagine since recently, it's possible to have a website with a lot of high quality content. And that was not possible before. We're talking about every business has a website now, but if somebody in Amsterdam is searching for best chicken teriyaki, Amsterdam, and everybody has a website, every restaurant has a website, or every cocktail bar has a website. But if somebody's searching for best Long Island iced tea Amsterdam, and you're the only one that has a blog article, it's Google kind of has to send you the traffic because nobody else has the content. If you have a blog article that says chicken teriyaki Amsterdam and nobody else has, there's nowhere else to go, right? So that's what people come for currently. It's a restaurant owner that has not enough guests, or cocktail bars, or like any kind of local business, basically. Jim can talk about. So I'm posting on social media about tips, what they can. It's every local business can create hundreds of blog articles and put them on their website to get more people incoming from local. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And so we'll dive into the conversation. The first thing is one thing is we'll talk about efficiency. And for the audience, we'll talk about efficiency, marketing, AI, future technology, innovation. How do you see AI impacting the efficiency of businesses in the next decade?
People always, so it's always interesting. People ask me about the next 5 years. Decade is even worse. I cannot predict the next 2 years, but I would say robots are going to look. There's two major parts, I think. One is software for knowledge work, and one is robots for everything that is not knowledge work. And I guess knowledge work is the first. There's already parts of the US, for example, where they are facing a little of economic crisis locally, because places where you have a lot of call centers or support people working in whatever kind of support roles are getting replaced by AI now already. And that's a couple of percent of the global work population. So it's already happening on the software side. And obviously, as the software gets better, as the AI get better, more and more is going to be affected job wise. So on the business side, I would say, if you ask me for in 10 years, I would say you have a business idea. If you still have the business idea, I don't know, maybe you're developing it with AI, and then you just tell the AI to start, and they're going to roll out everything and build everything and distribute everything. And it's like you probably don't have to do anything anymore. But maybe I'm affected from my one. So what we're doing is we're focusing on one-click solutions, right? So everybody right now is using some text generation tool to speed up their typing, but they don't realize that their typing is maybe 5% of their work. And what we're doing is we're eliminating the process. So we're eliminating almost 100%, maybe 99% of the time you need to create, for example, a high quality blog article. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And the next question I have for you is because I was reading about AI agents and AI bots. Do you have any experience in this? And if so, what are they? And explain that to what they are.
So to be honest, when it comes to agents, we are not currently working with agents yet. But as far as my understanding, it's a machine that when you use ChatGPT, you need to prompt it, right? And if you don't enter a prompt, it's not doing anything. But the agent, you just tell it a goal, and it starts working on itself till it finishes the goal. So it's like a higher degree of automation. So this is something when you ask me of the future of business, I've seen recently the founder of Salesforce, and they are working on an AI army kind of tool, or I think they already launched it. And they claim that this can automate even the most complex processes. So I guess that is where our future work and maybe even government agencies, departments will be getting automated. So yeah, that's quite something. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was listening to this podcast the other day and it was talking about how it was just an experiment, but a AI agent was spun up and it went to Twitter and it was able to coordinate getting some seed funding from A16Z. And then they were able to use that to create a token and create like $1 billion worth of value. And they were just talking about the implications of that.
I
Yeah.
haven't heard about that one, but send me
Yeah.
the link afterwards. Sounds
Yeah. Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. And so my next follow-up question is, when you talk about AI, how can businesses ensure that their use of AI aligns with principles of fairness and transparency? And what are some of the most exciting AI innovations you've seen recently, and how do they inspire creativity?
That was a lot in one thing, in one go. So with the fairness, to be honest, I'm not too deep into how business can ensure theirs. We're trying to make sure that we are on the safe side when it comes to fairness and everything. I've recently had an idea. I'm the one advocating for a stop or a slowdown in development in AI, because look, we've created an app. When you use our app, one employee can do the work of 1,000 employees that are trained on using ChatGPT for this job. So just to say in advance, I'm usually someone who's saying, let's slow this down because this is like crazy already. But recently obviously then I'm thinking about the advantages, and there are many, of course, when it comes to health and so on. But I had some if somebody from SpaceX is watching, just by the way, listen now. So I had this idea, when we have a more potent AI system, that we take it to really crunch down everything we do in engineering globally. And then we let it figure out a part set of, let's say, 200 parts. And those 200 parts you can use to build anything, right? So you think about this like Lego, right? So you can push together Lego parts to build a car, to build a rover on Mars, to build a house. If you don't need it anymore, you take it down and stick it together to something else. This kind of stuff, right? And so that's something the AI system is powerful enough to really look at something we do on a global scale and just figure out, crunch it all down. So that way, then just think about, you would need maybe 10 factories, exactly the same factory, but in different sizes, to put out different parts. And then you have 2,000 parts and you can build a planet with this. So that kind of stuff is something where I see the upside because we just couldn't do it ourselves.
Yeah. The other question I have for you is, talk about future and technology. How do you envision the future of work with the continuous integration of AI and other technologies?
I'm thinking about this a lot. I don't have an answer to the will there be jobs anymore. But so we've been actually thinking about what we're doing once work is gone. Just in case, because I'm still more on the work will be gone side than on the we'll find new job sites. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I think the future of work, here's something interesting. There will be UBI, Universal Basic Income. That's what I think. And you will get paid. So one interesting thing to do this, one interesting way is not to just give people money for nothing, but for social activities. So that I think in the future, it'll be more like there needs to be a reason why you leave the house, assuming that you still have a biological body. I'm not sure. But that's the more distant future. But the thing is really, so let's say you get paid if you go somewhere in the morning to walk and socialize with people, right? And talk with people and avoid mental issues and this kind of thing. So that's something what we think is quite a smart idea. So that's not work, but it's you don't get paid if you don't do something, right? That's something, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I was listening to some YouTube interviews where they were talking about in the future, jobs are going to be not a necessity, but a choice. And talk about just where we move from, how we move from like energy and food abundance. And now we'll move into a monetary abundance where people are not going to live to work. Money is just free flowing. This can be really interesting with these AI agents and AI bots. And we're just talking about like the ability to spin up new governments or new corporations and autonomous agents. My next question for you is skills do you believe will be most important for professionals to cultivate in an AI driven future?
Also, look, I wish I could give some good, I wish I could give some answers where I know they are going to be valid in 1 year. So currently, I think it's not that I think we are already past the stage where you need to learn how to prompt those systems. I think we are coming to the stage where, look, just like OpenAI, you have the app on your phone and you just talk to it, right? You just ask a question, you conversate with it. And so I think we are already past the prompting stage, but we are not past the use. So if you don't use AI, you don't know what to use AI for. If you use AI, you will very quickly. So when I don't know how it is about you, but when I started using ChatGPT, I was like, what can I do with this now? And then I came up with one thing, with another thing, and now I'm using it for a quadrillion things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I start using it is like really the thing, right? And start learning how it's performing, how good it is on what you throw at it. That's important as well. Don't trust it. Yeah, check your content when you create articles, please.
Yeah, it's a tool and it basically just gives you more information to think and I can help you talk about because I use ChatGPT a lot for content creation and brainstorming, and just I use it as an adjunct to Google search. But what about using ChatGPT for automation? How do you do that?
Well, we are writing code with it, right?
Yeah.
We have inside our systems, we are running on ChatGPT or on OpenAI for some parts of apps running on OpenAI. So this is basically something I'm using ChatGPT mostly as in its own interface. So I have never used many add-ons or so on. We're building our own apps. Yeah.
Yeah. Then the other question I have for you is in this area of innovation and how can companies foster a culture of innovation that embraces AI while also encouraging human creativity?
So one thing is everybody right now is trying to train their employees to use those systems. And they are coming up with own apps as well. A lot of companies do. But really, if you like, what we're focusing on is one-click solutions. So one-click solution basically means, so if you create a blog article, it's taking 20 hours. If you do it with ChatGPT, it's maybe taking 4 or something. And with our system, it takes 10 seconds. The creativity part comes into play where you can think about new content ideas or learn something new and develop new content ideas alongside your learning or realize them instantly the rest of the time, right? So you can spend most of your time on creativity and developing ideas, which I think in the future is going to be the future anyways, I think. As long as we haven't artificially generated creativity, which I hope it's never, I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know. I don't want to. Maybe it's good if we do it. I don't know. Yeah, but like it can save time, right? You can learn and you can do something in your time, and then just press the go button, and things will take place. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. How can people find out more about you and reach out to you and learn about the work that you do?
Okay, so for everybody who's having a website, you should blog once a month. And because if you blog once a month, Google sees that there's something happening with your company and they'll send you more traffic. And if you want to blog once a month, our tool is you can create one article for free per month. And it doesn't take time and it doesn't take money, so you should do it if you don't have a team doing this kind of stuff. This is moderniqs.com, but I'm on social everywhere. Like recently started my first Blue Sky account. Follow me on Blue Sky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love that. The other question I have for you is just you sparked this. Another question was because you said if you blog, but most people that are bloggers that I know have switched to newsletters. And then the other thing is if you consistently have website to your or traffic to your website, do you need to still blog or is that or can you just if people are searching you and going to your website, does that count as traffic or how does Google see that?
So I haven't said this yet, but there are websites like healthline.com, they get 200 million monthly website visitors only by creating high quality articles. This is how the thing started with us as well. Once we saw this story and we've been blogging a lot. So what was the question again? Sorry.
Oh, most like if like for example, a lot of bloggers that I know that I talk to,
Yeah.
they have switched to newsletters
Mhm.
and but so they don't blog anymore, but they still have traffic. Google still sends them traffic. Do you necessarily need to blog to have Google see that
Yeah.
your website is
Well,
active or
I'm not sure how to be honest, I'm not sure how it is about releasing new articles, but you should definitely update your existing ones regularly. I don't know. So as I said, Healthline gets people clicking, like coming in because they blog and they don't stop blogging. So what you're supposed to do is create new articles, update the old ones, and send. Just do everything you can when you can automate it. Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on and thanks so much for an insightful conversation.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.